Uh, Jeez. I mean, I hate to say this. Bambu Labs has, in my opinion, revolutionized 3D printing in a lot of ways. I've said it before on the channel. I had an Ender 3, I had an Ender 5. Those machines were problem after problem after problem. And Bambu Labs P1P, P1S, when I first purchased those, absolute game changer for me. I went from struggling with every single print to just printing. Just send it, you're done. It came out great, fantastic. To give you an idea of the level of printing, my P1S currently has close to 7,000 hours of print time, which is significant. And in that time, I've changed one extruder and I've changed one hot end nozzle. That's it. That's a total of $40 in parts. In 7,500-ish hours of printing, that's amazing. That's great. My Ender 5 and Ender 3 went through probably 30 nozzles between both of them. Brass nozzles that just wore out every month or two of printing for the Etsy shop. Leveling issues, Z offset, you name it, it was a problem. And the newer iterations of Creality machines, if you do a search online, the feedback I'm seeing from a lot of users, even YouTubers who have received them as a promo item free of charge, some of the commentary is still the same. It has issues. The strain relief cable is causing problems. The Z wobble is there. If you print the front left corner of the bed, there's going to be striations in your print. These are all problems that Creality is facing still, that the Bambu just isn't. And I hate the fact that I can't recommend Bambu Labs. I can't. The prices right now are out of control. I understand it's a global issue, the US tariff system. I get that, and it's making us makers in the US having to hesitate on what we're purchasing and how much we're paying, because the prices have definitely gone up. Some of the competitors haven't increased their prices yet. So, for example, Elegoo, you can still get an Elegoo Centauri for $299 pre-order. That's fantastic. That's a Core XY machine at a great price. You really have a hard time competing with that when they're not responding to tariffs just yet and increasing prices, but Bambu Labs is. The X1 Carbon, that used to be able to be purchased for $1,299 US dollars. Now it's $1,749. That's $450 more. That is significant. And that's then a tough situation for me as a person who's offering my opinions on, Bambu Labs and what printer you should get, right? A lot of my videos have gone to the end point of just get the Bambu Labs because the prints were great out of the box. You won't have to tinker with it. You won't have to mess with settings. You just select your profile and go, and it just prints. That's been my experience with my systems, my printers. So I want everyone to have that experience. I want every maker out there to start thinking about 3D printing as it's a tool that I use to make, and the 3D printing is the making, not the tinkering. To me, that really is what brings me joy as a maker, is making a product, making an item. This is something I'm working on now, for example. This is something that will go into the Alex IKEA drawer system to allow you to get your paint out from the back, because every IKEA Alex system I've seen online where you put bars or striations or holding brackets inside the drawer always stops short because you can't get to the back of the drawer because it's too deep. I've made something for that. I'm prototyping it. I've created something and I'm putting it to use in my workspace to test it, and then I'll put the files out for everyone to use. But this is, for me, what 3D printing should be about. I have a problem, I found a solution that works in my space for what I need. And then I get to iterate on that. I get to expand and try again and improve it. And if I have to spend hours just recalibrating, testing Z offsets and changing nozzles and reinstalling Clipper, all of that to me is a waste of the time I'd rather spend actually making versus preparing to make, I guess would be the difference, right? So that's unfortunate. The whole situation is just unfortunate because I really feel Bambu Labs is that type of printer that helps you just make, and it gets out of your way so you can be creative. And with these prices, I can't recommend them. The K2 Plus, for example, from Creality, a printer that I have personally put on this channel and set on this channel, is not at the caliber of Bambu Labs, in my opinion, is significantly cheaper than the Bambu Labs H2D. It was cheaper at the original launch price of the H2D. The launch price of the H2D was $2,199 US dollars. The K2 Plus was $1,499 US dollars with their multi-material system included. That price now is $2,799 from Bambu Labs for that H2D. That's a massive increase. I mean, $600 increase. A $600 increase, that's a significant amount. And it makes it so I really can't recommend the Bambu Labs H2D, even though it may be a really cool printer. It has 2 nozzles. The people that are using it so far report some very good things up to now. So in comparison though to a K2 Plus that has not increased prices yet as of the time of this recording, so I really can't recommend them. I can't at this time say that it is the printer company that I would feel you should get, even though my experience with them has been phenomenal. And printing wise, I think they are a fantastic offering on the industry, Bambu Labs in general. But these prices, I can't recommend them. So from now on, and I hate to say it, but from now on, when people ask me, what printer do you recommend? At these prices, it isn't Bambu Labs. It can't be. It's just the value is not there at this price. And again, I know this isn't Bambu Labs' fault, economic situation, tariffs, I get that. I'm not blaming them for having to increase their prices. This is definitely something that's nothing to do with them necessarily as a company increasing their prices. I expect all companies are going to increase their prices sooner or later. Anycubic has already announced that they will be. So we know for sure, for example, that Anycubic is expecting to increase prices in the next couple of months, if not sooner. Elegoo has not made any official announcement, but I anticipate they will also be impacted. And Creality, I can't imagine would be exempt. I would assume the same issue. So when you consider all these companies eventually increasing their prices, it's all about the same, right? But right now, at this current moment, the offerings from alternative companies from a value proposition is much more enticing. Sure, you may need to tinker with your K2 Plus from Creality a little bit more to get the prints you need, but that's a large difference in price for that convenience of not having to tinker. And even though I, as a maker, again, would love to just create and not tinker, at this price point that Bambu Labs is currently at, I can't recommend it. So if I need another printer for my print farm, for my Etsy store, it's not gonna be a Bambu Labs at this time. I already have the H2D on order, so I ordered it before the price increase, before the tariffs went into effect. So I'm at the $2,199 purchase price, which is expensive, but I think for what you get from Bambu Labs, worth it compared to the K2 Plus from Creality. Right now, I would not have bought that printer. So with that said, all I can say at this point is toss me a subscribe, toss me a like. If you enjoy the content, I'm gonna try to keep producing content as best I can. I'm hoping to release some of these files that I'm working on for paint storage and paint organization. And just keep on making. Toss me a subscribe, toss me a like. And again, if you have anything to say different, please put it in the comments below. I would love to hear it. I love to reply to the comments. I reply to almost every single comment I get. So if you want to put something down there, I'll be happy to reply to it, give you my thoughts. And yeah, just keep on printing.